world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love.
The grace is sufficient. They twist a few scriptures, made a fake religion. We can argue facts, but can't debate the wisdom. The serpent seed has subjugated his victims, created systems, made the heir to the throne beg for permission, removed his customs, fed him traditions. Merry Christmas. Satan Santa climbed down the chimney into the fire to consume a sacrificial offering. Talk about symbolism, it's spiritual. And the fact that we never seen it like that, it's hysterical. This pseudo-truth is satirical. Only time Jacob allowed to be blunt is when he lyrical. Other than that, shut your trap and get back to the trap. It ain't clear to you. Messiah said that they gon' hate you like they hated me. Paint Jesus on a false image that may be M.O.B. Mark of the beast, I'm using acronyms to say the least. You know why we fiends, we wanted out, they call cocaine the key. And we believed, we so deceived. Disciplined by the Father, humbly brought to our knees. By a nation swift as the eagle floating through the breeze. Swooping on us, angels rooting for us like major leagues. Abba, your love is like no other. With skill, you revealed how and why my people suffer. You crushed the sun for us and all the others. Would you please let your spirit fall upon us? Cause
this world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love. This world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love.
Being Kodesh is being blessed. In him I have my being, ain't no being like the rest. Forever on a quest to abandon his flesh. Reading Torah publicly caused civil unrest. Relinquishing the scriptures as they would rather manifest. In these universities, perversion is not oppressed. Love universal law, but hate the Father's request. The sin gets forgiven when men repent and confess. You are the lost sheep. I'm quoting Malcolm X, covered in soft fleece, fresh armory sweats, descendants of the remnant that the Portuguese possess. The Queen's pendant had an image of the system on our neck. Most High showed us that we can't do this without him. Liberation come from yielding, not just Sunday morning shouting. Placing emphasis on a building when that building is a mountain, and that mountain can be moved by the faithful temple in you. Shine your light.
This world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love. This world ain't right. Darkness, it ain't hard to decide who I love. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love.
Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah. Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah. Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah. Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah. Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah. Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah. Between you and this world, I choose you, yeah.
Yeah. One thing I learned from Peter one time: never deny. Tempted to catch amnesia sometimes. Never deny. Even when my faith will come a cry, I never deny. When I confess, I put my neck on the line. I never deny.
Yeah, I told you I would never fold, even in the cold. I never lose my hold back against the ropes. The sun's flower from the concrete is where I rose. It's just perspective, ain't no location for highs and lows. I can't believe the lie no more, the truth is in my soul. Holy Spirit, hold my pen, I'm writing with a ghost. The war's on, my hands are up, I'm fighting on 10 toes. I ain't come this far, fight this hard to make myself known. And I can't switch sides no more, the fork is in the road, yeah. And I'm trying to eat, yeah. My plate garnished with goals. I keep my faith, they Yahweh, keep subscribing to the code. Through grace, I'm hanging in there like a closet full of clothes. It's nothing you can promise me to leave that light alone. It's honesty over me, trying to be like these clones. I can't turn my faculties over for their control. Them are those who want us there, they either on parole. Never know what rejection is until you've been opposed. Won't understand God's reflection till they fill you with holes. I share my views and get accused of me trying to impose. They push their views through schools and news shows. Persecute the youth for drug use and then powder their nose. Lies and fabricated truths, but how will we know? Unless the Father left us clues inside a book of quotes to show the greatest of all time is a lamb and not a goat. Whoa. One thing I learned from Peter one time: never deny. Tempted to catch amnesia sometimes. Never deny. Even when my faith will come a cry. I never deny. When I confess, I put my neck on the line. I never deny. Yeah. I'ma do this right. This is sacrifice. They can miss me with the fame, miss me with the hype. You want me to play a game with the things I write, but I was never into playing games with my life. They say there's money on the line and I'm holding the dice, but I have no price. My soul to God, my body cold as ice. Now some might play dumb for 20,000 likes, yeah, but what everybody like won't help me sleep at night. No, am I called or am I not called to be salt and light? Yeah, did I use God to get me to the table? Now I'm like, I can't reach a broader audience by saying Christ. So I'm supposed to start avoiding him all day and night, huh? Do I have the Holy Spirit or a poltergeist? Yeah, I slimmed down, not from New Orleans, I'm still a soldier, right? Yeah, this is spiritual warfare that I'm supposed to fight. In Jehovah's sight, all my sinners are oversight. Yeah, my feet planted on a rock like soda and ice. When the money low, I'm still on go, his grace will suffice. There will come a time I can't purchase the merchandise. Keep the 6 absent from my flesh, that's a word of advice. Chasing bags to get you tagged like Judas type. It's more than just a ticket on your head for running through the light. Yeah, careful not to worship the golden calf. Don't deny, never get caught running with the bullseye like Pippin and Mike. One thing I learned from Peter one time: never deny. Tempted to catch amnesia sometimes. Never deny. Even when my faith will come a cry. I never deny. When I confess, I put my neck on the line. I never deny. The Father, he gon' tell the children what nobody knows. He'll paint the picture with the scripture if we listen close. Give me lesson, give me blessing all throughout my woes. What should have killed me has built me and made me whole. What should have killed me has built me, I'll never fold. What should have killed me has built me, I'm solid gold. What should have killed me has built me, I won't sell my soul. What should have killed me has built me, I'm fully known. No, and ain't nobody tell me it be like this, no. Got the pressure on me, but I won't quit, no. There's an open door, but I won't dip, though. Cause the Holy Spirit told me don't trip, yo. I got you. That's why I never fold. I got you. Don't ever let me go. 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 I know there is grace and peace upon me, and I know it's worth its weight in glory. See, I know it's people praying on me, but it's more people praying for me. Stay faithful. I will. Stay faithful. faithful. I will. I know there is grace and peace upon me, and I know it's worth its weight in glory. See, I know it's people praying on me, but it's more people praying for me. Stay faithful. I will. Stay faithful. I will. Yeah. Shalom. Honestly, I wasn't raised to serve, and to this day I struggle with my own selfishness to obey the word. Sometimes I want to stay actionless and just say the verbs, but that will be low of me because actions speak louder than words. I know I'm called to live it out, but what if I'm living in doubt? Got faith but not sure the amount. What if I'm in and I'm out? Yahuwah gave this guy a light, but what if I'm dimming it out? Supposed to be out here shining bright, but fam, I've been in the house, privately endorsing the lies of the enemy. Still blessed because the one that's convicting me is defending me. Shout out my bride, I'm on her mind. You know she intercede. Think it's with her I cannot camouflage my energy. She know when I'm going through it. She also know I ain't gonna stop. She know I'm going through it. Most I gave my heart a beat. I wrote a song to it. How would these people know if there's no preacher to put them on to? There is grace and peace upon me, and I know it's worth its weight in glory. See, I know it's people praying on me, but it's more people praying for me. Stay faithful. I will. Stay faithful. I will. Faith. I know there is grace and peace upon me, and I know it's worth its weight in glory. See, I know it's people praying on me, but it's more people praying for me. Stay faithful. I will. Stay faithful. I will. Blessings, it's bringing me joy. Blessings, I receive. Let that shit ride, 88.
Look, this is my side of the story. I grew up in them heathen ways. Wisdom, knowledge, I wasn't breathing, man. Glass bottle full of pain, I was keeping, man. Whoremonger in the streets, I was creeping, man. Life full of pride, you couldn't tell me better. Back in the days when we was rocking no better. Jeans, Pusha T in my CD player. We was grinding, steady making paper. Day in and day out, mama never knew. She thought we were still nerds, but we was with the crew. Living life in the world, I dismissed the news. Never paid attention to the game or the rules. And then I grew on a new branch, cut from the same tree, but this a new branch. Old man dead and gone, this a new batch. I had to face the most high, I was knocked out in the match. Now I understand affliction, Psalms 119:71 the message. So I glory in affliction, refined by the fire, man. Do you get the message? I cried tears of joy when I heard the truth, that we the Israelites, and then I heard the proof. Now I ain't no going back, we 10 toes through the roof, so I had to press it hard, even when I'm in this booth. Now we shooting precepts, ain't no dealing roof. Better repent while it's still time, if not then poof. Fringes on, let them know that we the light. It's the flesh versus the spirit, we gotta fight the fight. Enduring to the end, yeah, it's only proper. Our people need some healing, yeah, how will he the doctor? You took me from the streets, now I gotta give my life to take from the streets the lost sheep. My faith I never hide, them laws I gotta ride. We gotta run a race so we reach the 12 tribes. Ain't no destruction in the new kingdom, it's a new wave, we just wanna surf the tide.
Mic check, mic check.
Con, all good.
That's right. Shalom, family. Shalom, family. All praises to the Most High, man. Con. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bashim HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai, right? Peace and blessing to the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad out there. Hey, we almost at the end, man, right? You looking at all these signs, right? You looking at all these trials and tribulations. It's just waxing worse and worse and worse in our time, man, right? What great empire lasts for damn forever, man? None, right? So how much more of this American empire, right? This revised Roman Empire that we live in today, you think this thing's gonna last forever, man? Right? So we gotta stop looking for longevity here in America because this place is on its last legs, right? So peace and blessings again, right? Make sure y'all hit that like button, right? It helps the algorithm, helps push this message out to those on the YouTube feed, man. You know, we're trying to wake up as many people as we can in these last days. Again, shalom.
Con, man. Shalom. Peace and blessings to the family out there, man. Especially the brothers out there putting their life on the line, right? For this word, man, for this truth, right? Being hated by many to be loved by few, right? Shalom to those brothers, man. Shalom to the wives, right? Doing wifely duties in the houses, right? Cooking, sewing, cleaning, teaching good things unto the young women, right? And to the children as well. Right. And also, I want to say a bit of heart, mighty shalom to the children out there, right? Listening to their fathers and their mothers, right? Being obedient and abstaining from the lust and the concupiscence and the wickedness of this world, right? Because Satan has transformed himself into an angel of light, making the evil feel good and the good, right, be evil. Do me a big one, man. Give me the book of Luke, right, chapter 11. Let me get there right quick. Right, because a lot of times, man, we get kind of comfortable, in our ways and in our doings, man, and we forget that, the time is short, right? And we don't have much more time, man. Right? Get me give me Luke 11:6.
Got it right here. It's the book of Luke. It's the book of Luke, chapter 11, and verse number 6. For a friend of mine in his journey is come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, trouble me not. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give thee.
So this is a guy, right? That this is a parable, right? Where this guy, he didn't make himself burdensome, right, for his friend, right, for his brother. He didn't wake up out of his sleep to assist his friend with a good deed or a good gesture that he was about to go forth and do, right? So in this parable, man, we understand that we supposed to make those sacrifices that nobody else seems to make, man, right? And those sacrifices comes with what? Waking up early, going to sleep late, praying, fasting, right? Abstaining from different lusts and different temptations to show that it can be done, right? Learning how to be a good husband, learning how to be a good wife, right? Learning how to be children obedient to your parents, man. All these things, right, is that good bread, that is about to be talked about in this parable. Your doings follow you unto heaven, and what we do on earth is gonna be held as treasure in heaven, right? And we're gonna get there. Go ahead and read.
God, Luke 11 and verse number 8. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needeth.
That's a good brother. A good brother gonna give you more than enough, right? So that way you can figure out how you're gonna do your next move when it comes to appeasing or pleasing someone who could possibly be an angel of light from the Most High, right? So we need to know, man, when we give, man, we need to give heartily, right? And know that there's bigger things that's being added unto us in heaven rather than the things that we have right on earth, right? Give me Luke chapter 12. And I want verse Salakia. I want verse 16 to 20, and then we can move on.
God, this is the book of Luke, chapter 16, chapter 12, and verse number 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully.
Right, and this is the Most High, right? He is that rich man, right? That planted in this land, right? And he planted the Israelites, and it brought forth plentifully. We ended up becoming a mighty nation from 12 sons, right? Then we turned into 70, and then we turned into 600,000, right? And then now we're in the millions, right? Even more so, billions, right? I think it's if we add everybody up. Right, Salakia, Nathaniah. If we add everybody up, right, of the children of Israel, it'll be 2.6 billion, right? So plentifully, right? This ground and rose up seed and fruit, right? Go ahead.
God, verse 17. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits.
Okay, so now I need to separate some things. Now I need to make some fruits that's sweet and good to the taste for me. Right, go ahead.
Verse 18. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
So now I'm going to put these fruits, right, in a good habitation to where they could be preserved for a longer while, right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry.
And we're not in that time yet, right? We're not in that time yet. But he said, hey, just rest, right? Just chill. I'm coming. Don't worry about that, right? Go ahead.
Verse 20. But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
So then, now you thought you was gonna rest on your labors. You got everything stored up. You thought you was gonna rest on your labors, right? But those who's caught lacking or slacking, they're gonna be the ones get packed out, right? And if you ever been to jail in California, you know what I'm talking about, right? Go ahead.
God, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Yahweh.
So it's good to stack these treasures in heaven, because at the end of the day, everything that we do, whether it be gold or wood, right, is going to be tried by fire, right? One more precept, 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 17. Right, get it in the GNT, Baba Kusha.
God. This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 17 in the GNT. It reads, you call him Father when you pray to God, who judges all people by the same standard, according to what each one has done.
So then spend the rest of your lives here on earth in reverence for him.
So that's what we have to do, man. Right? Because he's going to judge all of our works. We need to spend our days on life doing things in reverence, right? Or in respect of him. Why? Because everything that we do, there's a judgment behind it, whether it be good or whether it be evil that we do or think, right? So hold your tongue with a bridle, watch your works, watch what you put your hand to, because we're being judged on everything. And are you?
Con. That's right. Going back. Right. So we getting judged on everything, right? We got to stop putting our faith, right? Our strength, our works, and our duties mainly into the things that pertain to this world. We have to start stacking these treasures in heaven because that's what's going to be required of us, right? Not the things that you built up in carnality, but the things that you built up in the spirit. That's what's going to be required of us. That's what's going to be made for us to understand what we're really working towards, right? The Most High is not going to look down on us. Okay, you built a nice, great land, great house. No, right? The spiritual house and the spiritual things that pertain to the spirit realm is what's going to save us, you know? And I got to open the scripture real quick. Go ahead, Nathaniel. Go ahead and get your intro in. A lot. Tell the people shalom.
Khan, shalom. You know, pray everybody enduring, man, enduring to the end. We see the times we in, you know what I'm saying? And lately it seemed like a lot more things have been moving. It's been moving a lot faster, right? You see a lot more things coming to pass, a lot of nations coming against each other, and with all these things on the rise, man, and this is not a time to be slacking in our work, man. Right? This is if anything a time to put your, hey, what they say, stand up on the pedal, man. Right? Hey,
Right.
get up and get going, get moving, man. Right? And really get in the spirit and make sure you staying steadfast in this thing.
Con, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Stay steadfast and stand up on the pedal, man. You're not just sitting down, cruising, right? Taking your sweet old time, man. No, you get up on that bike, man, right? You stand up. You let the wind blow past you in a certain angle, man, so that way you can move faster in this thing, man. Right? Move faster through keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Ain't no time for slothfulness, right? Beautiful. Right? So I want to bring out right here. Let me pull that back up. Psalms chapter 31 and verse number 1, right? In thee, O Yahweh, do I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Bow down thine ear to me. Deliver me speedily. Be thou my strong rock for an house of defense to save me, right? So you can't look for things that pertain to this world to save you, man, right? You might have a Glock 19 under the bed, right? Or you might even have a damn armory, right? You might have a survival bag and ready to survive what's coming to pass in this world that we live in today, man. But these things are not going to save you in the times to come. Only the Most High, right? The power of the heavens, the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. These are the things that are going to save you, man, right? You can't make flesh your arms. You got to make the Most High your arms, right? Reading on. Verse 3, for thou art my rock and my fortress. And a lot of our brothers and sisters out there, right? You guys got breaches in your spirit, right? You're not a built-up fortress with, of fortitude, man, to withhold a lot of these things that are going to come to pass in this world. Dollar collapse, army seeking us, right? All of these things that are going to have you shaking in your boots, man. But when you keep the Most High in your bosom and you keep the Most High as your rock in your fortress, there's nothing that's going to be able to breach that, man. Right? Reading on. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. Pull me out of the net that they have laid privily for me. And a lot of these nations, man, every day, right? They put forth that net. And what does the net do? It captures things, man. Right? You cast a net into the lake, you're going to get some fish, man. Right? So we got to pull out that net of righteousness and catch our people from the hands of the enemies, right? You got nations on the other side of the pond casting nets to take these fishes and devour it. But guess what, man? We on the other side, right? On the right-hand side, casting our nets, throwing it forth, fishing, right? To bring these fish and to save them out of that pond, man. Because that pond, which is America today, is getting ready to be polluted, right? Read on.
That's right.
For thou art my strength. See, Yahweh is our strength, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. The power of the spirit, man. The power of the holy angels, the power that supersedes all of these finite mortal powers that these men have on the earth. Hey, guess what, man? Right? Yahweh supersedes all of that, man. He's the one that gives them their power. So how much more strong is the Most High, right? And I yield. Go ahead, Nathan. Now you got something?
Nah, go ahead.
Con, give for me Second Corinthians.
Come on, go ahead, King.
Give for me 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse number 7. Because you talked a lot about weapons. They're not gonna do much. Is it good for us to have? Yeah, but our biggest weapon is our belief, right? And the other word for belief is faith, right? And in that belief, that's how we're gonna be saved from the coming judgment, and by our works, right? Because all of our works is gonna be proven by fire, right? So, but we need that belief, though. If we don't have belief, we don't have anything, right? Read that for me.
God, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse number 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight.
So we walk by faith and not by sight. We walk by belief, right, and not by sight. Man, we never saw Christ, right? We never sat there and touched him. We never just chilled with the disciples. But spiritually, we chill with the disciples all the time, man. When we read or listen to Luke, Matthew, Mark, John, the apostles, right? The different stories in the books of Acts, man, right? The different acts that are the apostles, man, right? We that's how we sit with our brothers, right? That was before us, that died, man. We listen to the or read the books of the Maccabean captivity, man. The books of First, Second Ezra's, right? Or Ezra, Nehemiah, Tobit, Baruch, right? We look into all these things, man, and that's how we physically touch our people through the spirit. That's how we touch our ancestors through the spirit, man, is by actually sitting there and reading the book. If we don't read the book, we don't even know our family like that, man. If you don't sit down and have a conversation, if I never sat down and have conversations with my brother, right, with my brother Don Boy, I ain't gonna know how Don Boy rock, right? But as long as I sit down and I have conversations with Don Boy, I know what I can and what I cannot say, right, to Don Boy. I know what I could do and what I can't do to Don Boy. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the only way that we're gonna understand the Most High and our people as well. We think we are who we are today because of the people that raised us up and that we was around, and we forget that it was the Most High that raised us up. It wasn't the people that we around, right? So now we need to get back in tune with how he raised our ancestors, right? Keep reading on that.
Come. Verse number 8. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord.
So we don't fear death, man, and we take pleasure in facing death on a day-to-day basis, man. I was reading this one book, right, The Art of the Superior Man, right, and he said that's what men thrive at. Men thrive in the face of death, right? That's why all of us was built to go to war. After we get home from war, we make good love with our wife. Why? Because we almost lost our life, right? A woman is like an ocean and she forever flowing, right? This book is real. It has a lot of wisdom, man, right? And she flows in the abundance of femininity, man, when she is a feminine woman. So that means she's caring, she's loving. She always want to fix or heal something that is hurt or wounded, right? So we come home and that's what our woman do. She embraces us, right? She heals us from that day that we had of facing death, right? So we are confident, man, that when we go out there, we're going to come back home. But at the same time, we don't give a good God darn, right, if we die or not speaking and preaching this word, man. That's what you call courageous, right? Not pride, but courageous, man. Confident, right, that we're doing everything that we could do to obtain the kingdom of heaven, man, right? And give me one more, because we got to prepare ourselves, right, for these times that's coming, man. Right, just like we had to prepare ourselves in the Assyrian captivity, right? The Maccabean captivity, right? The captivity under Herod and Haman and Salmanazar, right? And all these different other wicked kings that ruled over the children of Israel while we was in the land and absent, right? We have to now prepare ourselves once again, man. Give me the book of Judith, chapter 14, verse 1. Because a lot of times, man, brothers get stagnant and they feel like this is not a war, man. The Bible tells us, right, through the apostle, right? The Bible tells us, man, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but by spirits, right? Principalities and powers. Man, there's so many spirits, right? And powers that we don't even understand that we're fighting against. Man, we sitting here thinking this carnality is the flesh. Nah, this is a spirit that you have to conquer, man. Right? There's always spirits that we have to exercise out of ourselves, out of our spouse, out of friends, even navigating through the enemies of the Lord. Right? We got spirits that we got to overcome and conquer all the day long, man. Right? Because if not, we'll get carnal and we'll start punching things down. But this warfare is not physical, man. It's a spiritual battle, man. And sometimes we intertwine the two, but we always have to separate. Right? Go ahead and read that.
Con. It's the book of Judith, chapter 14, and verse number 1. Then said Judith unto them, hear me now, my brethren, and take this heed, take this head and hang it upon the...
Do me a favor, read it in the GNT.
Con.
Salaki, I should have said that before.
You good, King?
Right, because a lot of times these words get jumbled and scrambled, right? But in the GNT, we get a little clearer look on what exactly is being said right here, right?
That's right. This is the book of Judith, chapter 14, and verse 1 in the GNT. Then Judith said to them, my friends, please follow my advice. In the morning, take this head and hang it on the town wall. Appoint a leader for yourselves, and at sunrise have all of your able-bodied men take their weapons and march out of the town with him as if they were going down into the valley to attack the Assyrian outpost.
Hey man, look, man. Judah said, look, man, don't play around, man. Take every able-bodied man. I don't care if he's skinny, big, tall, small. If he got 2 arms and 2 feet, bring everybody that you could bring with you armed and march down to the wall, man. Because there's power and strength in numbers, man. Right? There's power and strength in numbers, man. And y'all need to go ahead and show that you are a mighty nation, right? So, hey, man, Judith, right? Judith, she had things in order, man. Right? There was no games played, right? And Jesse Bahaz, I don't care if you guys have looked at Isaiah 13. It talks about the fall of Babylon, and it also mentions the day of the Lord, which I took as being on his second coming. We will need to rely heavily in prayer, Salakia. Well, yeah, that's true. But also they have works that we need to stack up, so that way we could rely heavily on our works as well, right? Prayer is just part of it, just like fasting, and just like obedience, right? All of it is parts of it. We need every joint of the body, right? Instead of just one arm or one leg. It's many pieces that we have to put together in this puzzle to be able to make it out of this coming destruction. But you're right, though. We do have to be heavy on prayer, right? But there's also actions that need to be that are required as well. You have something on this, King? On Judith? I still want like 2 more verses.
Let's keep going. Right, verse number 3. The Assyrian guards will grab their weapons and rush back to camp to wake up their officers. The officers will run to Holofernes' tent, but will not find him. Mm-hmm. And the whole army will be terrified and retreat as you advance against them.
So in Holofernes, right, wasn't he a king or he was a general?
He was a general.
It was a general, right? So they're going back to Holofernes to get word. You know what I mean? What you want me to do? How should we move? Should we send 200 band this way or 200 band that way, 600 down the middle? right? And when they don't find them, they're gonna be terrified. Why? Because the person that leading them ain't there. So now they gotta rely on their own thoughts. But it said what? They're gonna be jammed up. That's how they're gonna get jammed up. Right now, what we doing? We relying on the word of the Most High to show us the way to go. Right? What are some of those ways, man? We're gonna get into that. Right? We're gonna get into some of those ways that we prepare and that we see and watch and see these end days coming with a clear eye in the spirit. Right? Keep reading, unless you got something on it.
Reading on. Verse number 4. Then you and all the other Israelites will be able to follow them and kill them as they retreat. But before you do any of this, send K.O.Y the Ammonite to me. I want to see if he recognizes Holofernes, the man who spoke of Israel with contempt and sent K.O.Y to us, thinking he would be killed along with the rest of us.
So it says, man, I need you to identify this man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but like we're going into though, we got to prepare for this battle, man, right? And it's a spiritual one, but it will become physical at some point, man. As we see war popping off everywhere, churches getting shot up, bowling alleys getting shot up, mass shootings, right? There's more mass shootings than the days of the year, man. Every year, man. Every year since 2022, they've been more mass shootings than every day of the year, man. Right. So there's been more than 365 mass shootings a year, man. Easy. And going into the new year, right, there was already 60 mass shootings by the end of January, right? So we know that these times are at hand, man. Right?
God, that's right. Mighty. Right. Nathaniel, you got something?
Get it together. You can say something. Go ahead. You off of mute.
I still can't hear you though.
Still can't hear you though. Kind of still jammed up. Go ahead, King, while he get that situated.
Yeah, I want to expound on what that brother Jesse brought out real quick in Isaiah chapter 13, right? That's somebody point he made, and somebody scriptures in there, right? So we got to be prepared, man, right? We have to understand that these prophecies that are expounded upon in the Bible, a lot of them pertain to things that happened in the past, right? And all of these nations in the past, and a lot of them at the same time pertain to what's going to happen to what's known as America today. In the scriptures is known as Babylon, right? The place of confusion, right? Isaiah 13:1. It says the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see, right? I'm going to skip down to a point that I want, right? Verse 6. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, right? That means it's coming soon, right? It's at hand. It's getting ready to be issued forth, the day of Yahweh, which is also the day of judgment, the day of vengeance, right? It shall come as destruction from the Almighty, right? So a lot of our people, they caught up in Christianity, man, right? They think that, okay, when the Lord comes back and all the things happen, it's salvation, it's freedom. Yeah, it is. But before that happens, guess what, man? Destruction, right? Chaos, man. Right. So are you going to be caught up in that destruction? Are you going to be caught up in that chaos? Or are you going to be spiritually built up for the Most High to look at you as acceptable? Right. Are you going to have dirty garments and the Most High looking at you like you unclean in my eyes? You're full of sin. You're full of wickedness. You dev only in the flesh. You did nothing that I say for you to do. Hey, your garments are dirty, man. Would you walk into your mother's house with muddy shoes on? Or are you going to make sure you clean? Would you expect guests to come into your house and your house is all trashed? Dishes not done, trash full to the brim, right? Or you gonna make sure your house is clean, making sure your house is acceptable to have these guests come in, right? That's the same thing you got to do with the spirit. And guess what? America,
go ahead.
They're not even in that light, right? They're not even doing that. They're not making sure they clean. They're not making sure they're acceptable in the eyes of the Most High. Hey, damn near all of them are atheists, man. Right? All of these officials and leaders, they don't believe in the Most High. They don't believe in nothing he says to do. They believe in the ways of man, right? Verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. right? That means what? You're gonna be shaking in your loins, and you're gonna be found guilty, man. Right? You're gonna be found with your buttocks out. That guilt comes from you knowing that you're not doing anything right in the sight of the Most High. Because if you have rejoice in your spirit and you're happy that he's coming, that means you are presenting yourself as acceptable as you can be. You know, I kept the commandments. I did everything I could. I made sure I don't have no stains in my spirit, no stains on my garment. Okay, now I'm ready. I'm happy. And you open that door, right? And now you got smiles on your face. Oh, come on in. Come on in. Yeah, I've been expecting you, right? You get the, or contrary to that, you get that knock on the door. Oh, I'm not ready. Trash, damn, I should have vacuumed. I should have cleaned. I should have thrown out the trash. And, hey, man, I wasn't ready for you to come in, right? Hey, the Most High is going to turn away, man. You know? Verse 8, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames, right? They're going to be burning in their countenance, man. Right? You know that, look, man, we all grew up in the streets. Well, a lot of us did, right? That shaking in your loins, right? That nervous, you feel it in your stomach, you know, when the cops come or something terrible is going on in front of your face. Hey, man, you're sweating. You're burning up, right? It's almost like you got a fever, but you're not really even sick. You know? Verse 9, behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it, right? And what's that land is talking about? That's talking about America, man, right? And it's talking about a lot of these nations, right, who have built up their own empires and fortresses within the earth, man. They're going to be laid destroyed too, you know? So this is what's coming to this place. So you got to make sure that
y'all can hear me
clean to get built up. Right? They can be built up in the spirit to make sure you're acceptable on that day, or you're gonna be laid desolate as well, right?
It's like I got precept on that, right? This is the book of Joel, chapter 2 from the top, right? It say, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Hey man, that's what we doing, right? That's what we doing every time we jump on these lives, man. Every time we go out in the highways and the byways to teach, man, and try to wake up the sheep, man. Every time we try to mention the truth to somebody while we at the grocery store, or when we at the gym, man, or when we at work, right? We blowing the trumpet. We trying to wake these brothers up, man, because we know the day of the Lord is at hand, right? It says a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Right, so we know that the day of the Lord is like my brother was saying, man. Right, he's gonna come. A lot of people gonna be shaking in their boots, man. Right, a lot of people gonna be in tremendous fear, man. Right, hey, imagine you got a case, and they building a case against you, and then you have no clue about it, and you just out here doing a bunch of wicked deeds, breaking all the laws, and when they finally bring you to court, they already got a whole case built on you. They got all the evidence. And hey, what you gonna do in that day? Right? You gonna be, oh man, what did I do? Oh man, you gonna be terrified, man. Oh, I gotta do 60, 70 years in a pen now because of all these things I did. I had no idea they was building a case against me. Hey man, you gotta prepare yourself ahead of time. Don't wait until the day of, right?
Big facts. Big facts. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Con, I want to say something on that too, man. Like, look, man, right? I'm gonna get out this quick precept, right? Let's get that advocate, right? Right. This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse number 1, right? My little children, these things write I unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, right? Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, the righteous, right? And what is the advocate, man? Right? Somebody who's going on your account, right? Let's get that definition real fast, right? Just for edification. What is the advocate? The action of being superior court calling before itself or reviewing an action originally brought before an inferior court. That's not what I wanted, but 1 second. To publicly support or suggest an idea, development, or way of doing something. Right? Now let's get this. Watch this. This is what I want. Advocacy. The profession or work of a legal advocate. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Yahweh Shai, man, Christ, right? The Son, he's our advocate. He's our lawyer in that time, right? So we got to understand that the sins we produced in this world, you know, the wickedness we brought forth into the eyes of the Most High, right? We have an advocate, a lawyer on our behalf, man, right? To tell us, you know, we got Satan, who's the prosecutor. You know, hey, look, he went off on this time. You know, he was doing this wickedness. You know what I'm saying? He did all of this, that, and the third. But Yahweh Shai is like, look, all of that stuff, take it away, right? I'm on behalf of my servant, man, right? And the ultimate judge is who? Is the Father, man, right? So we got to understand that if you go to court and you facing the judgment seat, the advocate is Yahweh Shai to be there to fight for you on your behalf, man. And I ain't talking about no public defender. This is a paid lawyer, man. And you pay for him how, man? By doing his service, man, right? Doing the things he told you to do. Look, man, don't get in trouble. You got court on the 28th. You know what I'm saying? Stay out of wickedness, stay out of sin, and then it's going to look good on your case when we finish off this trial, you know? But Satan's always there, like, okay, I'm going to get him to go off, right? So we got to fight that sin, right? Just like the brother Nathaniel said, man, like, hey, you can't keep building up your case to add more charges to your case, man, because it's going to look bad, right? It's going to look bad on your behalf, you know? And I want to get that in Hebrews chapter 10. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse number 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. Right? And what's the truth? The law is the truth. So if you keep sinning and adding more charges to your case, even though you find in the trial right now, man, hey, it's going to look bad on your behalf. Now you're going to really have to pay for it. You know? Let me get that real fast. Psalms 119, verse number 142. All right, bear with me, y'all. Right? Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Right? So when you have knowledge of the truth, right, or knowledge of the laws that you should be keeping the commandments and doing what thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, hey, man, you're going to be all right. But if you don't do that and you continue to sin willfully, hey, man, I know I shouldn't be eating pork because the law says, but I'm going to do it anyways. I know I shouldn't cut my beard, but the law says, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hey, you adding more charges, man, and you're going to ultimately have to pay for that, right? Let your lawyer fight on your defense, which is the advocate, which is Yahweh Shai, and don't do nothing to defer him from persuading to the judge, which is the Most High, to redeem you, to save you, to give you a lighter sentence, man, you know? And I yield. Wait, one more point on that, right? And all of these things pertain into the times that are coming, man, right? Make no trouble of yourself in the sin when these perilous times start to come on the earth. You don't want to give into that sin. You don't want to give into that wickedness. You want to stay 10 toes down in the laws. You want to stay 10 toes down and walking in the spirit. Then you're going to be well, man, right? The dollar collapse, what you going to do? Are you going to kill another man, your own brother, for some food in Kansas? No, we're going to walk in the truth, you know? When all hell breaks loose, are you going to shave your beard because you feel like it's hindering you? No, man, right? You see a pork over there, you starving, and all hell breaks loose. Oh, well, you know, there goes that pork sandwich right there. I haven't eaten in 3 days. My family kind of hungry, you know? No, man, right? You're going to let the Most High provide. You're going to put your full trust and faith in the Most High. To hell with that pork. I'll go another day or 2 days without food until I find something that I can't eat, because we built on keeping the laws. Because when you keep these laws and faith in his son, guess what, man? We're going to have that hedge of protection in these perilous times that are coming, you know? Go
ahead. And also when you keep those commandments unto death, he said he'll give you a crown of life. right? He said, those who keep my ways unto death, right, there shall be given unto them a crown of life, right? So even if you gotta die, man, and starve out, right, rather than sin, that's what you gotta do. But
Con.
I wanted to bring out something on that Isaiah thing, and then we can move forward if that's all right.
Con. Yeah, con King.
Um,
13
so
again?
no, so but Isaiah chapter 28, right,
Con.
verse 1 and 2.
Con. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 1. Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine.
And that's Ephraim, man. Ephraim is overcome with wine, right? And they're drunkards, not in the fact that they just get drunk all day and do whatever. Even though Ephraim do get they drink a lot, right? But this is talking about doctrine. They're fat off the ways of Esau, man, of the conquistador, man, the people that had rule over them, right, even before us, man. Right, they're fat and drunk off the wine of Babylon, man. Right, but keep reading.
Verse number 2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand.
So there's a destruction that's coming, like was brought out in Isaiah chapter 13, right? There's a destruction that's coming by the hand of the Lord, right? And to not take part in that judgment, right? We have something that we need to do, man, right? So drop down to verse 5, and then I want to go to Jeremiah, because Judah and Jerusalem ain't no different, right? They followed the ways of Ephraim, right? Because they seen the wicked prosper, right? So they started following the ways of Ephraim, man. And we have become just as tainted as them after they got exiled about the land. We wasn't no better. Right, go ahead.
Isaiah 28 and verse number 5. In that day shall Yahweh of hosts be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people.
You see? So, but there's gonna become a time where the Most High is gonna be that safety, man. Right? He's gonna be that safety and that crown of glory unto his children, man. The ones that repent and came back to serving him. The main thing he was telling us, right, in Isaiah and in Jeremiah and in Ezekiel is, bruh, repent, turn unto me, and I would make this not happen to you. But because you don't listen, I gotta let this happen to you, right? So in Jeremiah, right, chapter 4. This is what it says, right? Read verse number 5.
God, Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse number 5. Declare ye in Judah and publish in Jerusalem and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land. Cry, gather together and say, assemble yourselves and let us go into the defenced cities.
Go ahead.
Set up the standard towards Zion. Retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction.
So we see, right, that the Most High is telling us what? To do what? To return, right? To come back unto him. So that way he could set up the standard, right? What is the standard? The law, statutes, commandments, judgments, and testimonies, right? So he could set up what we, have and what we hold close to us. He could set that thing up again. But why did he have to tell us this, man? Go to verse 1.
Verse 1. If thou will return, O Israel, saith Yahweh, return unto me, and if thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight, then shalt thou not remove.
Right? So he said, hey, if all you got to do is stop the abominations that you're doing, man. What is an abomination, man? Right? It's a very, very filthy thing, man. Something that, like, if you threw up and you stuck your hand in it, that's what you do when you commit a sin, right? And even if you wash your hands, right, you still feel like it's on there for some reason, right? like dung. You stick your hand in dung, and then you just feel like you smell it forever, even though you wash your hands 3 times, man. Right? That's how sin is, man. So he's telling you, clean up your ways, man. Wash yourself clean. That way, I could save you from this coming that's gonna happen, man. One more. Give me John, right? St. John chapter 7 and verse number 38. The elementary scripture, man. Right? Because I talked about early that we believe in something that we had never seen before. We believe in the apostles, we believe in the Mashiach, right? Even though we have never physically touched them, because we believe that the words that are spoken in this book are true and proven. Right? Go ahead.
Can I start at 37?
You can start wherever you want, King.
37. In the last day, the great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's that talking about? That's not talking about, hey man, I got a couple gallons of water. If you're thirsty, you look like you got dry mouth here. No, man. That's not talking about that type of water, right? We should be thirsting for a different type of water, which only Yahweh Shai can give us, man. Right? Verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Right? And what's that living water? Go ahead, King. Expound. Oh, he good. Right?
Nah, you got it.
That living water is what, man? Right? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? The things that's gonna bring you to life, man. What are you gonna do with a plant if it has no water? Is it gonna grow, or is it gonna slowly wither away? Right? It's gonna grow, man. So you got to be that plant, and the water that's gonna grow you, right, is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, law, statutes, and commandments. The things that are gonna breathe us and bring us back to life. That's the water that we need. Right? Let's go to John chapter 4 real quick to expound further on that. Right? John chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 7. Right? There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua said unto her, give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the cities to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Yahushua answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Right? So he told her, like, hey man, if you knew who was really asking you for water, if you knew who I was, you would, no questions. Hey, you need, my Lord, here you go. I know who you are, right? No questions asked, right? So Yahushua is giving us that water, but our people are still don't want to accept it, man. Even though they know who Christ is today, they still don't even want to give him that water, man. Meaning what? Giving them that due diligence, giving him what he's asking for. And when you give him what he's asking for, he's going to bless you with something 10 times greater than that, man. Right? You give him a cup of water, here you go, my Lord. He's going to bless you with that true water. But our people don't want to do that today. Right? Verse 11. The woman saith unto him, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. So she's like, look, you don't even have nothing to, go into this well, to pull up the water on the string in the well. You don't even have nothing to get the water. From whence then hast thou that living water? So how do you have water? I don't see you with no canisters, no vessels, no pots. You don't have nothing to carry water. So how do you have this living water? Is what the woman's telling Christ. Verse 12. Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? Christ answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. He's like, this water that's in this well, that's carnality, man. Right? If you ain't delving in the spirit, you won't have understanding. You gonna keep on in that same until that same pattern, man. It's pattern of life. You need to have that change. Right? The water is always a flow of change. Constantly, you see rivers and oceans. They're never the same ever, right? There's always a flow of change, no matter what type of water comes, right? Verse 14. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life.
Con,
See that? Go ahead, King. You got it.
So all praises, man. Right. So now what is the water? Right. That's a big deal. Right. And we'll get back into what's coming in the end times. Right. But what is the water? Right. Get Proverbs 20 and verse number 5. Right. Then I want to get Sirach, right? Because they got some wisdom in Sirach that shows you how important it is to get the water. Right. Go ahead.
Proverbs 20 and verse number 5. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water.
So when you deep in your thoughts, right, that's a counsel, right? That's you gathering understanding, right? So when you do that, it's like swimming in the deep, right? You just drowning, right, in the counsel of your thoughts. That's why it's good to have outside counsel as well. That way you could come back to the top of the water and you don't get heavy, right, and end up having evil thoughts. So it says counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, right? Go ahead.
But a man of understanding will draw it out.
But a man of understanding will draw out that water, right? A man of understanding will help you think about ways to pull out wisdom in your counsel, right? Because in your own counsel, you might think that you up to something. You might think that you smart, right? When I figured out that the new moon was the beginning or the institution of the Shabbat day, I went to go to other counselors that look, helped me figure this out because I'm going into the deep and I see that there's there's something that we need to find, right? And then what? We end up coming to understanding through counsel that the wisdom is that the Shabbat day is off of the new moon, is calculated off of the new moon, right?
Mhm.
So even more so, right? How good is wisdom to us, and how should we be with wisdom? Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 18 in the GNT.
Sirach 6 and 18, G&T.
Now, it's a big deal that we gather and we sit around wisdom, man. Because a lot of times, man, we around this still water, and this still water get tainted, man. The ways of this world, right? The same thing that we've been hearing and indulging in since we were born, right? Or a young baby is still going out. It's still going out there, man. Adultery, take this nigga girl, right? Music, butt shaking, right? All type of lasciviousness and stuff going on in clubs and in the streets. This been going on. That wisdom is still water. That wisdom is rotten, right? When you sit by a pond that just been sitting there and haven't been filtered, right? It stinks, man. Right, I'm from the swamp, man. When water just sit there, man, it's foul, man. Right, and it's disgusting. But the living water, it keeps moving, and in the moving, it purifies itself. Right, all the bad stuff, the dirt and the debris get filtered out on its travel down the stream. Right. But go ahead, man. This wisdom is really important.
God. This is Sirach chapter 6 and verse 18 in the G&T. My child, learn to value wisdom while you are young, and you will still be able to find her when you grow old.
And you know what's crazy, bro? And I always tell people about this, man. When I was a young man, right, like 12 years old, 10 and 12, I thought I knew everything, man. My daddy went to talking to me, and I was like, nah, I know. You ain't telling me nothing. No, I know. Man, I didn't know nothing. But a wise son, right, or a wise man or a wise daughter, right, would listen to the wisdom of the ancient, man, would listen to the wisdom of the old, not think that they know everything, man. But I was raised up to be a rebellious child, man, right? Because all I knew was the world. All I loved was the world, right? I didn't know the Most High, and I didn't love the Most High, right? So while we're young, and that's why it's beautiful for us men of God to be in our children's life, because while we're young, we need to teach our children that it's okay to not know something and gain wisdom by learning it, right? It's okay to not know something. Right, that's very humbling. It's okay, man. Right, and I hope somebody out there need to hear that, man. It's okay to not know something, because that's the only way for you to learn. Right, go ahead and read, King.
Verse 19. Work as hard to find wisdom as a farmer works to plow and plant his fields. Then you can expect a good harvest.
And why did he say this right here, man? He went back to Genesis and it told us that we have to till the ground, right? We have to till the ground to get the understanding. That's a curse of Adam. Adam had all the law, statutes, and commandments, the wisdom, the testimonies, everything that he needed, right? But in listening to the woman, he made us have to till the ground, man, seek for wisdom, right? As a man plowed the ground, man, right? To bring forth a good harvest. What's the good harvest, man? Fruit that's worthy of repentance, man. Doings and people that always repentant, man, and that's worthy of it. But it takes the tilling of the ground to get the understanding. And then the living water, right? The water without pesticides and parasites, right? The water that's true, right? From a spring well, right? We need that water to pour into this harvest, right? So we could bring forth good fruit and good seeds, man.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it on that.
Hold on. Grab for me, real quick, Baba Shah. Let me get Sirach 15 and 7.
Beautiful precept. Beautiful precept.
7 and 8.
And I want to go into second Ezra after that, if that's okay, to talk about these end times.
I'm gonna bring out a couple precepts and I'll throw it to you after that.
Yeah, I just want to grab two real quick, and then this one and one more, and then
15 and 18, you said?
Nah, 15 and 7.
7 and 8. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 15 and verse number 7. But foolish men shall not attain unto her, and sinners shall not see her.
And again, this is talking about wisdom, right? So a foolish man is not gonna attain wisdom, man, right? And sinners, right? And we all know sin is breaking the laws of God. So those who don't keep God's laws won't be able to receive the wisdom, right? Go ahead and read on.
Verse number 8. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her.
Right, and that goes into what Captain Gabawar was talking about, man. Right, we got to be able to be edified. We got to teach our children that it's okay to not know everything, right? Because if when we got pride, we too proud, right, to accept correction from somebody just because they're younger than us, right, or just because they look a certain way, right? Oh, you don't got the nicest clothes on, so I don't know if I could believe what you're talking about, right? You're gonna you too proud to accept edification, man, right? And you're not gonna be able to attain wisdom with that pride stuck in you, man. You're just gonna make excuses for why they're wrong, right? Give me Sirach 32 and 17.
Come on. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse number 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
Right, and this is why the last verse we just read said, "Foolish men won't attain to wisdom," man. Right, because you so foolish and you enjoy the sins that you do, you're gonna make excuses for why it's okay, and that's why we see so many of our people who are lost in Christianity, man. Right, they think they find excuses to continue to live the way they want to live, right? But be like, oh, but I'm saved through Christ. But then they go and do everything against Christ, man. Everything against the teachings of Christ, right? But make excuses for it. Well, that's the Old Testament. Well, the Peter said we could eat anything. All these other excuses, man, right? They make excuses for their sins according to what they want to do. This is how I want to live my life, so I'm gonna make the Bible fit my life, right? Rather than making their life fit the scriptures, man.
Hey, watch what it say up in the GNT, right? It says Sirach 32:17. Sinners have no use for correction, and will interpret the law to suit themselves. Right?
Man.
So they start making up, right, what the law mean. Right? That's what sinners do. Right? But a true man of God says, nah, hold on, let's figure it out. Let's break it down. Let's see what it really means. And then we're gonna keep it just in that way. Right. That's why you see brothers, man, going out their way. Look, man, rotisserie over fire, wood, a whole lamb, trying to keep the head on and the legs. You understand what I'm saying? You see brothers like almost wanted to keep all the intestines in it because it said keep the pertinence there. You understand? Brothers is really trying to dive deep into the ways of the Lord, man, because the law is everything. The law, I mean, it constitutes everything: faith, obedience, trust, right? Goodwill, right? How to love your brother, how to love God, how to love your sister, what to do with your children, what to not let happen, what to let happen. The law is everything, right? According to the Hebrew Israelites, man. And that's how we develop so many different ways of wisdom. That's why in Deuteronomy chapter 6 and 4, it says, or 4 and 6, it says what? This shall be your wisdom in the sight of the nations, man. Right? The keeping of the law is the wisdom in the sight of the nation. Why? Because for one, you live longer. For two, you don't fight against people and shoot people for no reason. So it's smart, it's wise. You're not making enemies for no reason. When you take spoil, right, you make sure that you kill all the men of this nation, right, and the women that have been tainted, and you bring in the virgins and kill the men's sons, right? All these different laws, they put things into place so you can have a prosperous life. You don't commit usury upon your brother. These things make you love your brother, man, right? If I take your lamb because I'm hungry, right, and I needed to eat, I got to come back and give you 4. I got to make a way to give you 4. That's love, right? That's trust. That's obedience. That's everything. That's faith, honor, respect, morals, right? Institution, right? Because all these things that we institute, man, is they make our life greater and more well-rounded, man, right? To tell somebody, right, I love you is cool and all, right? But to give them alms and to help them where they need at, right? Wake you up at 2 o'clock in the morning, or like Brother Khalil, I wake him up at 8 and he like, yeah, bro, what you need, King? Those things, those sacrifices, man, that's true, man. And that's honest, right? But I do want to go into second Esdras, man, and let's yeah, Khalil, you got it.
And that's a great point, man. Right? We got to make these sacrifices, right, when it pertains to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Because what does the law go into? The law just means Torah, right, in the Hebrew, or Torah in the Hebrew, which means orders and instructions, right? If we going about the ways of this world with no type of instructions, hey, man, everybody will be everywhere, man, right? Our people follow the instructions of the white man, right? The ways of this world, these officials and these council members that rule this society, they follow their instructions, but they don't want to follow the instructions that lead to life, man, right? So I want to bring out a couple precepts real quick. I'm going to the book of Baruch, chapter 4, classic, right? This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse number 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the law that endureth forever, right? Because you got all these legislations, all of these laws that are put in place by the men of the earth, right? Sometimes they take away laws, sometimes they add new laws, and they add things and butcher laws, and they do whatever they want, man. But the laws and the commandments of the Most High, guess what, man? It endures forever, man. It's everlasting, right? All they that keep it, what? The laws shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die, right? So we got to keep the laws and statutes and commandments, because what happens when we don't keep it? We die, right? And the wages of sin is what? Death, man, right? It's death, right? So I want to pull out a couple more precepts, right, pertaining to the word, right? Let's go to, matter of fact, I got Jeremiah chapter 14. Watch this. So in these times and troubling times that are coming to this place, right, all hell breaks loose, society collapses, the dollar collapses, right? civil war on the streets of your own neighborhood, right? FEMA camps, death and destruction, World War III, right? Famine, plagues, all manners of wickedness and evil and death that is getting ready to come to this place. How do we stay prepared in that day, man? Right? How do we stay upkept in that day and made upright and walk in faithfulness in that day? What are the things that we need to do to withstand these troubling times? Right? This is Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 1. The word of Yahweh that came to Jeremiah concerning the dearth. And the dearth is just another word for famine, right? It's another word for famine, dearth, right? Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads. So there's going to be a time, man, again, where there's going to be a famine, man, right? Okay, I'm going to call it, you three and you two, you guys gather together, be back in 5 hours or be back before sunfall, come back to this camp because this is after all hell breaks loose. Go and try to find some water. They're going to come back sweating, ashamed, confounded. Look, we didn't find no water, man. We were searching everywhere. We was trying to dig in the ground as far as we can, right? There's no water, right? Because it's a great famine that's going on, right? Verse 14, because the ground is chapped, for there was no rain in the earth. The plowmen were ashamed. They covered their heads. What does it mean the plowmen were ashamed? Because after all they've been working for, after all they've been tilling the ground with in carnality, right? And things that they think they're going to work for the ways of this world and work for the things of this world, they're going to get no result of that, man. They ain't going to get no fruits from that, and they're going to be ashamed, right? Yea, the hind also calved in the field and forsook it because there was no grass, right? So there's going to be a time of famine that's coming to this place. No water, no food, right? But through the Spirit and on another fold, what is the water that we really need to try to get, right? Let's go to Ephesians. And this is that same living water that we brought out that Christ is going to give us, man. We need to get that true water, not water in this jug right here, right? We ain't talking about this water, right? We need the real water that's going to help us and aid us in these times, in these perilous times to come to this place, right? This is the water that we need. It's like Ephesians 5 and verse number 26, right? Classic. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse number 26, right? That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, right? So that water that we need from Christ is this word, right? That's the word that we need. We need to be spiritually built up and spiritually healthy like a plant that's flourishing by the river, right? That's the water we need, and that water is this word. This is how we cleanse ourselves. This is how we make ourselves presentable, acceptable in the eyes of the Most High, by taking heed to the word, the scriptures, the laws, the statutes, the commandments, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding, right? But you can go and get this word, but how do you really drink this word and attain this word and put it in your belly as a well of living water? I'm going to show you how right now, right? Psalms 111, right? This is Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10. The reverence or the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever, right? So his commandments are the word, right? Just like it says in Matthew chapter 4:4, right? Man shall not live by bread alone, right? But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Father, man, right? And when we keep what comes out of the mouth of the Father, which is his law, statutes, and commandments, then we get to get that water that he gives us, which is wisdom, which is a good understanding, right? But you have to do the commandments. If you do not do the commandments and keep these commandments, you're not going to have any wisdom. You're not going to have any understanding. You are going to be famished with that water, man, of that water rather, right? And I yield. All right, anybody got some? If not, I'm gonna keep going.
No, I'm gonna just paraphrase real quick. Since Gabo already back yet, like paraphrasing Psalms 1:1, right?
I can pull it
Or
up.
not 101, but Psalms,
I can pull it up.
Con.
Go ahead. I'll read it. You can expound. Psalms
Go ahead.
1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
Right, so that's how you be blessed, man. Right, you're not blessed because you have money. You're not blessed because you got a nice house or a nice car. You're not blessed because everything is going right. Everything is going your way, man. Now you blessed when you avoid the ungodly people. When you don't to sit in the seat of the scornful is to be a scornful person, man. Right? When you not doing these things, right? But instead of doing that, you actually delight in the law. You enjoy the law, while you go in it and you meditating on these precepts, man. Oh man, okay. Leviticus 11, dietary law, can't eat these things. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Leviticus 19:17, don't hate your brother in your heart, man. Rebuke your neighbor. Okay. When you actually studying and staying focused on the laws of God, man, that's how you gonna be blessed. Right, Reno?
God. Verse number 3. So when you do these things, right? Verse 3, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Right, because that water, like we were saying, that water is the wisdom, right? And so when you getting wisdom, that's gonna water you, right? And that's gonna have you, if you're the tree, your mind is that tree, your body is that tree, you're gonna be like a tree planted by the waters. So if you got the wisdom constantly watering you, you're gonna grow to have a mighty spirit, man. Right? You're gonna have a mighty mind, right? And just like a tree, if a tree is planted right by the rivers, it's gonna grow to be an enormous tree, right? Hey, the roots is gonna go deep into the ground. It's gonna be getting well fed, right? Hey, you feeding your spirit.
God, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Right, your leaf won't wither, man. It's not gonna go out, right? Just like with a candle, man. If your candle stays lit and you got oil always in your candle your candle holders, always oil in there, your flame ain't never gonna go out, man. Hey, if you constantly by the rivers of water, your leaf ain't gonna go. Your leaf, you're not gonna get dried up. The scorching sun ain't gonna dry up your leaves, man. It's not gonna destroy the tree that just grew, right? Because you constantly being watered. You constantly got that nourishment.
God, and that's right? The roots of the tree has to constantly go into the ground, right, to get that deep water, man, that deep understanding. You got to constantly keep watering this tree, right, with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You are the tree. You brothers and you sisters that are watching this live right now, you are that tree, and you constantly have to keep watering yourself with this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Study the script, stay in the spirit, keep these laws, right? That's you constantly watering your tree, right? And every season, right, you're gonna start to what? Bring forth that fruit, right? You might have a season where you're not bringing no more fruit because you have to constantly keep growing and casting fruits, right? There's times where an apple tree is not producing any apples because it's not in that season yet. But you don't want to withdraw yourself from that water, or you never ever going to produce fruit. That tree is just going to wither away and die off. Hey, it might be okay. You know what? It's winter time. This is not the season for the apples to grow, and we can go and get it. It's not ripe. But if you constantly keep it where it needs to be at, right? Every season that it does produce the fruit, it's constantly going to be there, right? You might have to wait every year and every season of fall or something like that, right? Summer fruits, then it's constantly going to be there. Okay, next summer, I'm going to go get that apple or that orange. Okay, it's wintertime. We're going to wait. We're going to keep watering it. We're going to keep it by the water. Okay, next summer come. Okay, yeah, we can go get apples and oranges again, right? You got to constantly keep that tree by the water or keep yourself in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so you can constantly produce fruit. Right, and this is what's going to happen in the times to come. When famine hits, all hell breaks loose. Right, you still have to be that tree that's planted by the rivers of water. Right. Let me get a quick precept real fast in Matthew chapter 7. What happens if you're not producing fruit, right? What happens if you're just a tree that needs to be destroyed, right? Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 16, right? Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, right? A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire, right? So when the Most High comes back to look at his garden of what he's been growing here on the earth, which is his people, right? He's gonna look around. Okay, that's a good tree. That one's kind of that one's really green. That one's healthy. Or that one got a bunch of apples. But he looks at you, but hold on, wait, this tree is dying. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's browning up, man. It's withering away. Yellow leaves falling all over the place. No fruits. Ain't produced no fruits in years. You know? Hey, just chop that tree down, throw it into the fire, get rid of it. You don't want to be that tree, right? And in the times to come, you want to be a strong tree to withstand the fire that's coming to this place, man. You know? Go ahead, King. You got it.
God.
Who was on me?
Yeah, you wanted that second Esdras, right?
Yeah, Khan.
And after that, I want to bring out this video.
Khan. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse number 38. Because the whole point is, man, it's coming to the point of time, man, where we're gonna have to make moves, man. It said, right? Christ even tell us, man. Matter of fact, before we go there, man, go to Luke chapter 17. I believe that's where it's at. It might be 7 or 17.
What you looking for?
Where he speaks about in the last day.
Oh yeah, it's 17.
Yeah, 17. Khan. So
right
give
here,
me Luke
25.
7. Huh?
25 and on down.
Khan. Go ahead and read some of that.
This is Luke 17 and 25. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of his generation. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
Khan. So it says, read verse 31.
Khan 31. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back.
Go ahead.
Remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life, let me read this better. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Drop down to 36.
36. Two men shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left.
Go ahead.
And they answered and said unto him, Where, Lord? And he said unto them, Wheresoever the body is, thither will the eagles be gathered together.
He said they're gonna get killed, right? You're gonna have to get jammed up, right? So you got some people that's gonna escape, you got some people that ain't gonna be so lucky, right? But the people that escape, they're gonna have to do something that we're gonna read about in Second Ezra. Go to Second Ezra 16. And the new moon is coming in tonight, man, for y'all, for those of you who keep the new moon and celebrate and turn up, for the Most High. I pray y'all have a Shar Kadash, man, a happy new moon. and everything goes well. Right, go ahead.
18.
38.
Cost lucky. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb.
So for 2 hours strong, right? For 2 hours strong, they said, you don't know which hour the Son of Man cometh, right? And also the Bible says what? The affliction of an hour make a man forget prosperity, man. Right? They're gonna be 2 hours, right? However long these 2 hours is, gonna be 2 hours, man. Well, we're gonna be going through travail like a woman in pain, bringing forth a child, man. Right? And what is this woman that's in pain, man? That's Israel, man. The nation is about to be reborn. That's why you got 2 movies called what? The Birth of a Nation, right? But we the second movie, man, The Birth of a Nation, man. Well, we about to take everything and make it ours again, right? But it's gonna come with a crap ton of affliction, man. Right? And we're gonna read about a little bit of that affliction. Go ahead.
Which pains, Slacky, which pains when the child cometh forth, they lack not a moment. They slack not a moment.
They slack not a moment. It's one after the other, after the other, after the other. It's gonna be what? Bombs, war, concentration camp, famine, plagues, lions, bears, beast of the field attacking, snakes. It's gonna be everything, man. It's gonna be family dying, baby starved out, wife got shot in the head, husband got popped, this, that, and the third, bombs, grenades. All these different things are going to be happening. It's going to be constant travail, man. It's going to be constant contractions, man. Right? And when they get closer and closer, guess what? Those contractions get deeper and deeper and harder and stronger, man, to help you push that baby out, man. Right? And that's what the Most High is going to be doing to us. He's going to be proving us and contracting us, making sure that baby could come out, man. Those beautiful Israelites that keep the commandments and strive all the way until death, man, they could get their blessing, right? That they strove so hard for, man. A golden city, right? Set up on a hilltop where everybody come through and bring merchandise for free, man. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 39. Even so even just like a woman in pain, a woman giving birth, it's constant. It's not going to stop until that baby is finally born. And it's likened that to the same way in verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side.
On every side. When a woman is contracting, the whole uterus, boom, 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 right? Boom, 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 right? It's just like the baby is hearing the thunderings, man. And it's gonna be the same thing for us on every side, man. That's why the scripture told us what? It said assemble yourselves together, man. Right? In the book of Jeremiah that we just read earlier. We need to come back together, man, and form an alliance with one another, man. So we could be able to be pilgrims together when these times come, man. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
So even in those evils, man, we got to be like pilgrims upon the earth, man. What that mean, man? We watching every move that we make, man. Right? When we find a good source of drinking water, you got to pick it up, man. When you find an area where you can rest because your feet is hurting, right? You got to be circumspect, man. Take that rest, man. Right? When you walking for 2 and 3 days, man, only living off of 2 or 3 hours of sleep, man, because you hearing bombs and bullets and arrows and people crying and sighing for death, right? You got to learn how to say, okay, well, I'm gonna need that arrow. Well, I'm gonna need that little gun that he got right there. I'm gonna need that radio. I'm gonna need that battery charger, right? Pilgrims on the earth, man, they take everything that could be of use and they walk with it, man, right? We need to take everything that's gonna be of use, right, in this word, right, and walk with it, man. Faith, obedience, trust, right? Brotherhood, sisterhood, right? Family, taking care of the orphan, right? The fatherless, right? Making sure to be of service. Because in these last days, man, we're gonna need all the treasures stacked in heaven, right? That we could possibly stack, man. Because maybe some of our debt might come out of the treasure that we stack in heaven, man. They got things that we're gonna need to be paid for, man, through our works, man. Right? When you get wages, man, you don't get all of them at once, man. You got a week, right, that goes into the air just for if you get let go or you quit, right? You still got that payment, right? Same thing with the Most High, man. We got some stuff just waiting up there for us, right? That way, in these trying times, man, when we're pilgrims, he's gonna send that raven. He's gonna send that dove, man. He's gonna send, that deer, to feed a family for 2 months, man. Right? And that's all gonna come with what we stacking up right now, man. Right? These last days are about to get trying, man. It's gonna be a triumph with nations going against other nations, man.
That's right.
Right? And we can't be against one another no more, because the scripture tells us what? A house divided against itself, it cannot stand, man.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody need to be in order, man. No more Mexicans, man. That was a video we just posted weeks back. Mexicans came up to the camp, man, ready to fight, little young teenagers, man. And I had to ask dude, like, bro, how old are you? Right? Why you stepping up to me like that, man? I'm 29 years old, man. I'm going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'll punch you in the face, right?
And he getting picked up by his mama.
yeah. You feel me? So it's like, and it's like, this is what we got to deal with. But in these last days, man, we need to break down those barriers, man, and come back together. Even though Esau did a number on us, 12 tribes rise, man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
God, that's right.
Hey, just to touch on that pilgrim thing, man, right? You got to be like pilgrims, like he was saying, man. We all got to work together during that time. We all going, like you said, it's gonna be a pack, man. You gotta run as a pack, right? And we all gotta. Hey, I caught a deer, but this ain't just for me and my household. This for everybody, man. Everybody gotta eat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I found some water, man. Everybody, all right, let me split it up so everybody get a little sip. Everybody got enough to get through the day. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared to let go of the things you value right now in your life. Let go of your electronics, man. Let go of your nice clothes, the things that you're not gonna be able to take with you when it comes to the last minute. You're gonna be in the wilderness and you can only carry so much with you, man. Right? And you got to be prepared to let go of these things. A pilgrim, they don't settle, man. They're not settlers, right? A pilgrim is always on the move. Right, hey, that's how we gonna be always on the move, man. We not about to. Oh, you know what? This is the spot right here. We gonna set up. We gonna start building houses here. Start planting some crops. Hey, this is where we gonna be at. No, man, you gonna be pilgrims. You always on the move. You always finding on to something new, on to the next.
That's right, and that's the thing we got to understand, man. This is why we can't look for longevity here in America. Just stop worrying about I'm going to be this in 20 years, 30 years. I want to reach this. By the time I'm 40 years into this career, I should be well on. All that's going to be destroyed, man. Right? All of that is vanity, man. It has no meaning to it. Right? The true meaning is to reach the kingdom that's going to have an everlasting reign, man. Right? And another thing, we have to stop being content and really be prepared spiritually and mentally and physically to come to a situation like we was doing it in the Feast of Tabernacles, right? The Feast of Tabernacles, man, we was out there chopping wood down, right? Let me pull this up real quick, right? This is what we was doing at the Feast of Tabernacles. And this is why it's a beautiful thing to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, because it constantly gives us a memoir, right? A memorial of the times when we came out of Egypt. Just like today, right? In this season, we're remembering the times for a memorial when we came out of Egypt by keeping the Passover, right? Let me play this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys are not built to chop that wood down, man. That thing was not easy, you know.
Nah, man. Asa had a crappy dang axe, man. Next time we get in the more expensive axe, man.
You know, chopping that wood down, man. So, and the beautiful thing about that K.O.Y survival, right? K.O.Y, it stands for Kingdom of Yasharala, right? No matter who you are, no matter what camp or congregation you belong to, everybody is a part of K.O.Y, man, because you are all the kingdom of Yasharala. See that? So we have to have this type of understanding of the times to come, right? And I want to pull a video out real quick, right? Get to some of this meat, right? When all hell breaks loose, man, we got to understand what's coming, right? And the order things are going to be hitting, right? Watch this. Let's start right here.
Let's talk about the first couple of days, the first 24 to 72 hours. In the immediate aftermath of some sort of large-scale disaster or complex disaster, there's often a period of shock and confusion where people are really unaware or unwilling to look at the full extent of the situation.
He said a period of shock and confusion. And who's that pertaining to? People who are not reading, people who are not measuring the times, just like 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1 says, man, to know what's coming, man, to read these prophecies, to delve into the wisdom of the ancients, to know like, hey, man, this is all coming. These are the people that are pertaining their minds and content in the ways of this world. They don't know what the hell is going on. You don't want to be caught with your ass out, man, right? You want to be already prepared physically, mentally, and spiritually, ultimately, right?
What they do in this period is they rely on the authorities and the emergency services that are supposed to be there to restore order. We have seen time and time again where that is not necessarily the case, depending on the scale. During this time, our safety is the first thing we should have in mind. Avoid getting caught in the chaotic masses. Avoid having to go to grocery stores. Avoid as much as possible having to interact with these people that really don't know what's going on at this point. At the same time, we need to make sure that we do have our ducks in a row. And if we do need something or we do have the opportunity to grab a little bit extra, the first 24 hours is your window to do that. After the first 24 hours, and maybe even less than that, that window has closed. Think of this like the eye of the hurricane or the calm before the storm. Right now, you can capitalize on people's confusion and not knowing what's going on. With you having the foresight and understanding this could get a whole lot worse, you have an opportunity to seize on this moment and get your ducks in a row, basically.
You see that? He said having the foresight and the understanding of what's going to come after this first couple of days, right? You're going to be able to really prepare yourself, get yourself together instead of running around like chickens with your head cut off, man, right? Easily to be susceptible for people to take advantage of you, man, to rob you of your goods, right? To gather you up and do whatever, to have their way with you, man. No, but not Jake, man. Not Israel, man. We already going to be spiritually prepared and mentally prepared to already make that pilgrimage. You know, we going to be all right. Yep, we already knew this time was coming. We was prophesying this time to come. Hey, it's time to make moves. Everybody else who don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, who don't read the Bible, right? They ain't gonna know what to do, man. Right? And at the end of that, result of that is what? Death, man. Right? You want to stay in that bosom of the Lord. I want to pull out a quick precept just to touch on that part real quick.
Hey, real quick, while you grab that precept, right? Hey, just think about when COVID first hit, man. Right? How was all the grocery stores? People was going crazy, man. Right? Hey, the shelves, you couldn't find certain things. You couldn't go in and get certain things out the grocery store, man. Right? Hey, it's gonna be 10 times worse once this thing actually gets going, man. Right? Hey, it was riots and looting going on. LA said the LA police department said that they couldn't protect any people who came out there, any vacationers or what you call them, people who go to tourists, right? Hey, they couldn't guarantee the protection of tourists, and they recommended that they didn't come out, right? Hey, and that's in LA, man. Right? That's a major city. Right? Hey, imagine how much worse it's gonna be during these last days, man.
A lot. Be a lot worse.
Right. That's right. And watch this. Right? Deuteronomy 32 and 28. For they are a nation void of counsel. Right? Void of counsel. Neither is there any understanding in them. Man. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this. If they were wise, they would have understood this. And what is this? That they would consider their latter end. Right?
Man.
So our people are void of counsel, man. They don't want to seek knowledge from nobody. They reject knowledge. So in that day, they're going to be rejected of the Most High, pursuant to Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6 on down. Right? If they were wise, they would have understood that this is what's going to come in the latter end. There is no longevity here in this place, man. It's a wrap. It's over. You know, that's not what I wanted, but through the Spirit, had me pull those two out. But here we go. 38 is what I wanted. Right? Which did eat the fat of. I'm going to start at verse 37. And he shall say, where are their gods? Their rock in whom they trusted. So in that day, the Lord's going to be looking at you like, where's your gods at? Where's all of the people that you put your trust in? Where's all of these officials and council members and presidents, all these rulers of the earth that you put your trust in to save you? Where are they at? Right? Where's your power at? Right? Verse 38, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices. The things that we give a service to, right? The things we sacrifice unto the men of this world, right? They take what we offer them and they devour it, right? And they want more. And we keep offering it to these nations, man. We keep offering it to the men of this world, right? And what else? And drank the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. So Most High's like, hey, where's all them people you trusted in, man? Where's all these leaders and you voting and you can't wait to vote for the next president and you voting for mayor of the office to bring stuff to the where they at? They ain't gonna be there because in that day they definitely ain't gonna be there, man. Right? They're inviting them. They're gonna be in a bunker somewhere. That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna be in a bunker somewhere. You know, they're gonna be hiding. I don't know about them people out there, but hey, I'm hiding, man. I'm 1,000 feet underground, man. I don't know about y'all, but hey, I gotta save myself. Me and my family, right?
Yeah.
You know, so we can't be like that. Verse 39. See now, like now do you see in that time to come? Now you can be like, the Most High is gonna be like, now did you see that I am He, and there is no God with me? Meaning there's no other power that can deliver you out of this thing, man. The men of the earth can't measure up to my power. I kill, I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. So at the end of the day, man, you're going to realize like, damn, the Most High, He's the one that truly would have protected us, man, in them times to come. Right? I got one more. I want to play that video a little bit more. And then if you find a point on that video, one of you brothers got the floor.
Let me get one precept before you start again. Because you touched something before you went into your precept, right? And Proverbs chapter 22. Right, Proverbs chapter 22.
Proverbs 22
and 3.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
And that's just like you and Nathaniel has said, man. It's a man of understanding, man. He's gonna foresee the evil, man. He's gonna see like, okay, this is coming on, right? And you keep on talking about, man, somebody getting caught with their pants down, man, right? And then Nathaniel was like, man, look, and the video is telling you what, 24 hours. You got 24 hours. So when you think that it's just something simple, it might be something big, and you only have a certain window of time to get your family prepared and all together. That's why a wise man foreseeth the evil, right? And he's gonna do what? He's gonna have 2 buckets of beans and 4 5-gallon water things and something to carry it on, like a damn wood broomstick or something. You know what I mean? That way you could have something when you get on your pilgrimage, man. Right? A prudent man, he's gonna foresee the evil, man. But the simple ones, right, they're gonna be caught out there, man, and be punished. They're gonna be rioting 3 days later, going scavenging this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, you have cannibal people, looking for a brother to eat, man, because somehow they meat tastes better, right? So we need to stay on top of this thing, man, and foresee the evil that's coming, so we could be out there before they out there, man. Right?
Quick, I'm gonna pull up the precept real fast. Right. Psalm chapter 44 and verse number 6. I'll start at 4. Thou art my king, O Yahweh. Command deliverances for Jacob. Through thee will I push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. Right? For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and has put them to shame that hated us. Right? That's what's gonna happen in that time, man. Right? We're not gonna be trusting in. Okay, I got the new AR-15, man. I just got a gang of ammo. You know what I'm saying? I got the new MK 1246 with the silencer. Oh yeah, this is gonna no, man. Right? Weapons are not gonna save you in that time. Delving in your carnality is not gonna save you. Trusting in the arms of men. Oh well, you know what? Hey, look, man. They got a group of army men over there. We might as well join them. No, man. Right? We got to put ourselves in the bosom and in the spirit and in the dwelling of the Most High, because He's the one that's ultimately going to save us through His Son, Ba'Shem Yahushai, man, right, with the angels, you know? So don't put your trust in the world. Don't put your trust in weaponry and the things that pertain to this world, because these things are not going to save you in these perilous times that are coming, man, right? Let me continue a little bit more on that video.
DC.
Where's I at? Right here.
Decisions you make at this time are going to have consequences down the line.
Let's go to the first week.
All right, so let's move to the first week after a collapse. And as the
look, man, look, man, all these beasts of the field, right? All of these people with no understanding don't know what to do, man, right? It's damn, all hell's breaking loose. You see that? This is what's gonna happen.
Days progress. This is where the initial shock starts to wear off.
When they tell you not to panic, that's when you run.
And the reality and the severity of the situation becomes more apparent for those that were thinking that, oh, this is just a temporary thing. Everything's going to be fine. The government is here to help. Basic services and supplies could begin to dwindle. This leads to panic buying and looting. By this point, at the first week, you may be looking at a situation where there's really nothing left to loot. But again, that depends on how quickly this scenario escalates. Law enforcement, emergency services, the first responders, hospitals will all become overwhelmed. And the declaration of martial law becomes a real possibility at this point if things are getting so far out of control that the government services can't handle the situation. In this type of situation, it's really crucial to remain vigilant and adapt to the changing circumstances. This very well could be the most dangerous time because of the uncertainties and because of the unknowns, and the people, maybe not necessarily you and your family, but everyone else out there that will just have no idea how to handle a situation like this. And
Con, right? And what he said right here was key, right? You got to remain vigilant, you know, and adapt to the situation, right? Somebody bring out that classic. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and verse number 58, right? Classic, right? We got to remain vigilant. We got to remain and adapt to the situation. And we have a what's the word I'm using? An advantage, right, over everybody else that lacks understanding. We know what to do. We know how to maneuver. We've been planning this. I've been planning this thing since I first came into the truth, man. I got files and folders and files of how to go to certain zones, you know, maps of the cities, you know, underground sewage systems that can lead out, you know. You have to prepare yourself for the times to come, man, and not wait till it comes, because then, hey, man, you're going to be on your own and you're not going to be well off. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
You said 1 Corinthians 15 and 38?
58.
Oh, 58, Consulate. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yahweh.
Right, so we have to be steadfast, man. Like a statue, man, not easily to be swindled, not easily to be removed, right? Come to the point where they can't take our minds and put it, oh, wow, okay, well, they said go over there. Well, I guess we know, man. We staying 10 toes down in this truth. We staying 10 toes down with the game plan, man. What we gonna do to be pilgrims in the earth? We going to our own place, right? Steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. And when that shit hits the fan, like you see in this video, right? We still gonna abound in the work of the Lord, man. Even to that day, all the way until we get to the kingdom, right? And never ceases. Oh, you know what? Hey, yeah, all hell breaks loose. I was in this truth until all hell broke loose. Now I guess I'm just gonna no, man. Right? You're gonna get sifted out. Right? Go ahead, read on.
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
And your labor is not going to be in vain in this time when we're keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. We're teaching the people. We're waking them up. And when all hell breaks loose, our labor is not going to be in vain in that time either. We know how to plant seeds. You know, we know how to chop wood down. We know how to put wood pieces together. You know, we know how to maneuver about the forest and things like that, man. Right? Abounding in the work of the Lord, because the Lord is the one that ultimately gives us the understanding and the wisdom, the blueprint to do the work, man. You know? Anybody want to expound? I'm gonna play this video. Like 3 more. Go ahead. And I'm gonna play for 3 more minutes and we can move on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse number 8. It is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in princes. All nations compass me about, but in the name of Yahweh will I destroy them. Right? So this is how we need to be, man. We need to put our trust in the Most High, because at the end of the day, through the name, right, of Yahweh Shai, that's how we're gonna destroy these nations, man. Right? It's gonna be from His name that's established in the earth as our savior, right? Jehovah what? Jehovah Nisi, right? Jehovah Jireh, right? His name shall be what? The Lord our righteousness, man. All these different names, right, is what we're gonna be saved by, and that comes through what? The name Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Right, so that's what we're gonna put our trust, man. We're gonna put our trust in the Lord, man. Not in arms, right? Not in food, right? Not in preparation, right? Of these days, which we still gonna prepare, right? But it ultimately is all gonna fall back on what? The trust of Yahweh, man. By Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Khan, that's right. Ultimately, go ahead, King.
Hey, I'm about to hop off the Aki. I'm about to get ready for camp. Eat real quick and take a shower.
Khan. Shalom, King. Call out Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Brakatah, King.
Shalom, call out Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Brakatah.
Khan, call out Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Brakatah.
Right. So let me tap in a little bit of this, a little bit more before we close out soon. So that's the first days, the first week, right? Now we get to the 2 or 4 weeks after.
3 weeks after some sort of collapse, large-scale disaster. This is when crime, looting, violence, all of those things are going to be at their peak, because people will be absolutely losing their minds. Pharmacies and everything has been looted at this point, and people will start to form groups or gangs. Some of these will be good, some of these will be bad. Criminals are going to band together to get what they want, and neighborhoods are going to band together to protect themselves from those people. And this is one of those things that a lot of people just think is just absolutely far-fetched, but it really is important to be prepared for a situation like this. We are only talking about a couple weeks after something happened. But if something does get to this point where it's lasting a few weeks or a month, things are going to escalate quickly. It's also important to note too that in these few weeks, this month period, there are going to be a lot of people that just aren't around anymore. And unfortunately, that could include some of us as well. People on medications are going to have a hard time getting their medications. You are going to see people that are dependent on hospitals and medications start to sort of disappear, I suppose, in this time frame right here. You are also going to see quite a bit of death from crime and violence as well. You are going to have people who are starving, maybe not starving to death at this point, but hungry people are going to do whatever they need to do to get what they need. And that will lead to quite a bit of crime and violence, which in turn will lead to quite a bit of death. Although I'm not sure.
You see that? And y'all can go look this up, man, right? If you into this type of stuff, man, just go on YouTube, search what's gonna happen in the end. You know, get some good what's the word I'm trying to use? Videos about people who expound on these things. You know, they do research on this type of stuff, you know, from the past, man. Right? All this stuff is pertaining to history. They look up history and it counts, okay, what happened in that time? Okay, that is 99% gonna happen again, right? In this timeline. If it happened in that empire, it's gonna happen again, man. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So when you search up, I got two searches I wrote down that I wanted to look up, right? When was the last time society collapsed? Right? The late Bronze Age, right? 12th century BCE, associated with environmental change, mass migration, and the destruction of cities, right? And that's what's getting ready to go on, man. All right, everybody's going to be going on a mass migration because the cities are going to be destroyed, man. You know? So you got to be spiritually built up and know how to maneuver by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because then you're going to get the understanding in that time on what to do too. Right? And I got one more search. Go up here. Right? What was biggest societal collapse in history? Right? What was the biggest societal collapse in history? What's the one I want? It says virtually all civilizations have suffered such a fate, regardless of their size or complexity, but some of them later revived and transformed, such as China, India, and Egypt. However, others never recovered, such as the Western and Eastern Roman empires. But we know the Roman Empire today, they're revived in another form, man, which is America, right? British, NATO, right? The Maya civilization and the Easter Island civilization. So the point being, all these empires has an inevitable end, right? So when you go to real fast, right? Daniel chapter 7, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever, right? This is the only empire that's not going to cease, right? This is not what I wanted. What I wanted was that kingdom shall last forever. If you got that in your mind, but if not, this works too, right? The kingdom we get in the empire that we about to have is going to last forever. It's not going to come to no end of civilization for us, man, right? So stop building towards the ways of men and their empires and their cities, because this place is finished, man. Right? But the kingdom, guess what? It's never going to be finished. Right? You got it, King.
Con. So I want to go back to Second Ezra, and then we can end out, you know, in a little second. Right? I want to go back to Second Ezra, man, because they got some stuff that's gonna happen, man. Right, go to Second Ezra chapter 13. I believe I want verse
30, 33, 32.
Yeah, maybe so. Go ahead there.
29. Right. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
And this sounds very familiar of what's going on with all these different wars that done popped up, right? These wars been popping up left and right, man, right? And we see this happening, and we see insurrection, right? We see the citizens going against the government trying to subdue it, right? All these things are happening right now as we speak, man.
Mm-hmm.
My bad, King. He just spit up. Go ahead, add on to that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what he sees, right? So when it says, and he shall come to the astonishment, meaning what? The amazement, man. The awe, like, wow, look at all of this that's going on, right? I'm astonished at the situation that's going on in this place right now, man, because it's not like how it's been, but it's something that is different now that has never been before, right? And when it says right here, one realm against another, right? That's going into what? Wickedness versus righteousness, man. Right? That brother brought on in the video, hey, there might be some good, there might be some bad. What he's expounding on is there might be some people who are not really fit to fight and do all the evil. Oh, it's just me and my family. We're just trying to survive. Please don't kill us. That's what he's expounding on, right? And there's people like, give me everything you got, right? That's the bad that he's expounding on. Well, really, what's really going to happen is it's going to be the righteous versus the unrighteous, man. The godly versus the ungodly in that time.
Khan, that's correct. That's correct. Right. So let's read a little bit more.
Khan, verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
Khan, then shall my son be declared, man. Then he's gonna let Yahushua go from off of his right hand, man. Because the scriptures let you know, man, Yahushua is sitting right next to the Most High, Yahweh, right, like a lion, right, ready to leap and pounce on his prey, right? So we know that in that time, man, it's gonna be crazy, right? It's gonna be hectic. The Yahushua is gonna come through with rage, man, and fire in his eyes. Right, read on.
And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another.
Go ahead.
And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
And it's not going to happen, but that's going to happen. It's going to be really World War III, right? All over the earth, right? And in that day, right, we see it popping off already, man. You got Biden, he helping both. Hey, he helping both sides of the war, right? He's sending aid to Gaza, right? He's sending weapons to Israel, though, right? Then he got Yemen. He's bombing the crap out of Yemen, right? And then he just signed on Sweden, right? So the alliances is building, right? His contradictions is flowing, right? Meaning that he's helping one side, but also supplying the other side with weapons, right? We see that World War III is right around the corner, man, right? Because all these fightings, all these wars that's going on, man, and they're gonna try to fight against Yahushua, man, but there's no way for them to win, man, right? Oh shit. Okay, hold on, let me see something.
Let me expound a little bit on 34 if you're going past it.
Go ahead.
34, right? When it says here, an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them. Matter of fact, 33. And when all people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. So this is World War III, right? Nation versus nation, right? Bombs and killing of each other, of men on the earth, right? But when they see Yahushua come back, and that sky crack open with the chariots, which they call UFOs today, right? And Yahushua coming with thousands of chariots, they're going to stop battling each other. Like, what are we fighting for? Look at that, right? And they all going to try to attack that, man. They all going to gather into one nation, one people group, and they're going to try to overcome him by fighting the chariots, man. And that's wicked. You ain't going to go against the chariots, man. How are they going to come together and fight Christ, man? You know, all of this has been spoken of old time, right? Everybody has some type of understanding, whether they believe in the Bible or not, whether they're atheist or a believer, right? They have an understanding that this is supposed to come, and when they see it, they still going to be in that atheist type of mind state, man. Oh, that's Christ that I didn't believe in, but you know what? Let's fight that anyways, man. Hey, that's off, man. That's why they ultimately going to be destroyed, man, by the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know? But what? Verse 35, but he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, meaning he's going to be atop of his people, man. His people are going to be his battle axes and weapons of war in that time, man. You know? Go ahead, King, you got it. How you gonna fight Christ when he comes back, man, with your minute armory, man? That's a walk.
Right. Let's go to chapter 15.
It's off, man.
Verse 14.
Second Ezra 15 and verse number 14. Right, and it reads, woe to the world, right? Woe means destruction, right? To the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And
So
one people, go
ahead.
And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
So these swords are on a high level, man. This is nuclear warfare, man. Also hand-to-hand combat, right? These times are coming where we're gonna have to actually put in the work, man, to stay alive, man. Right? With the faith, man. That's why David said what? He said, blessed be the Lord, right? That teaches my hands to fight and my fingers to war, or vice versa, right? Because at the end of the day, the commandments is what's going to save us, but we still going to have to use our power that the Most High and gave to us, right? But go ahead.
God. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, right? Let me get that word real quick. Sedition, definition, right? Sedition means conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch, right? That's sedition. So there shall be sedition, right? Or rebellion among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? So they're going to be a rebellion, man. Right? They're going to invade one another. Oh, to hell with that. Hey, you know what? They're going to try to sneak into that military base to get all the rations for themselves. I don't care if they the president. I don't care if he a prince and counts. I don't give a damn. We going in there, man. Who's with me? And all these men of the earth, man, dwelling in their carnality, man. Right? Go ahead, King.
No, read on.
Right? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Martial law gonna happen and we ain't gonna be able to go into a city, man. That's what the video was just showing you, man. These prophecies have to happen, man. These last days prophecy, man. End time connotation, man. Right? So we're gonna have to go through this too as well. Go ahead.
God. Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
And it's because of what? It's because of their pride, man. Thinking that they cannot be touched, man. That's exactly why the Most High is gonna jam up this place, man. It's written in many books, man, where it said, man, because of your pride, man, I have to destroy you. Because of the pride of Ephraim, this has to happen. We just read that earlier, right? Keep reading.
Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
So it's gonna be, we're gonna have to they're gonna have some people running in houses, man. That's why we're gonna be pilgrims, man. What we gonna sit stationary in the house for when somebody just gonna try to come in here, kill us, and take what we got anyway? Right now, take what you could carry, put forth a band, right, of 8 people, 10 people, 12, 20, whatever, and then y'all all mob, man. right? Y'all all mob, man, and y'all invade houses, man. Right? Knock on the door, boom, 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 boom. Anybody in there? Boom, 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 boom. Anybody in there? No. Okay, canned goods. Let's get them. We need them right quick. Next city we go. Right? It's gonna be hell on earth, man. Go ahead.
God, and that's what happens when you take heed to wisdom of the men on the earth, man. The wisdom of men. Hey, you know what? Look, just remain in the house. You'll be safe. You look out the window. Oh, hey, it's bad out there, man. Stay here, stay put. And next thing you know, man, 3 days later, you're destroyed in that house, man. You robbed and you murdered, man. But if you listen to the wisdom of the Most High, what the Most High say to do, right? Be a pilgrim, man. Stay on the move. You know, set up men as captains, man. Look at the wisdom of the ancients, how we had captains to lead us, man. We're gonna do that in that day too, man. You know, you lead this group of 50, you lead that group of 30, and we're gonna migrate the same way. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to migrate all at once, but we're gonna meet at this destination. I trust in that captain. It's gonna be all in order, man. Right? By keeping the laws and the commandments of the Most High, which teaches us how to maneuver, man. Right? The wisdom of the Lord, man.
You know? Last one. Second Ezra 16 and 77 and 78. Because this is how we're gonna get out of the trials, man. The trials and tribulations, man. Right? We got to do the opposite of this, right?
I'm gonna start at 75, King. 75. Second Ezra 16 and 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Right? So in that time, man, Yahweh's gonna be our guide. Go ahead, King, you got it.
No, it's all good. I went to 77 and 78, so you can expound.
Yeah. So Yahweh in that time is gonna be our guide, man. Not the guide of men, not the guide of the world, man. You know, Yahweh's gonna be our guide, but he's only gonna be a guide to those who keep his commandments and precepts, man. You know, let not your sins weigh you down. You know, you don't want your sins and your transgressions, meaning lawlessness. You don't want to envelop yourself in the ways of the world, men going crazy because they're all enveloped in what? Lawlessness, man. Right? You don't want that to weigh you down in that time, you know? Hey, them guys is looting over there. Hey, let's go loot with them guys. Yeah. No, man, that's going to weigh you down. Right? And let not your iniquities lift up themselves. You don't want your sins and your transgressions to overweigh you and overcompass you, because if you do, man, you're going to be destroyed, man. You know? Verse 7, 77. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes.
Go ahead.
And the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
Come on, man. So it says, whoa, destruction unto that person, man, that's covered with their sins, man. Right? And that you know, is moving in their iniquities, man. Because in that day, man, if you're not repentant, right, you have no salvation for you. It's gonna be like walking barefoot, right, through a field, man, with thorns and thistles, man. Right? You ain't gonna have no choice but to bleed, man. Right? And those pricks, man, they not easy, man, to you know, that pain don't go away too easy, man. You know what I mean? Some of the thorns get stuck up in there. You ain't got no tweezers, so you walking around with that, right? Meaning, right, that your sins, man, gonna end up destroying you. So right now is the time to repent. And in those days, man, don't give in to sin, because that's another proven stage that we got to go through. Are you gonna sin like the brother was going into earlier? Are you gonna sin when you haven't eaten in 3 days, and there's a dang pig right there, man? Are you gonna sin if you haven't eaten in a week and a rabbit just come past you, man, or a cat or a dog, man? Right? Are you gonna eat that? No, man. You need to hold fast to your integrity, like Job, and eschew evil, right, and dismiss evil and flee from evil, right? So that way you could be saved out of these trying times that's coming up on the earth, man. Don't be caught out there, man, with your damn sins all in your face, man. Right? Wash yourself clean with the water of the word, man, and obedience. Go ahead.
God. Again, verse 77 to 78. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith.
So I was watching the show, right? Called Lawson, Bass Reeves, right? And one day, man, he walked outside. He just had planted some corn. The corn got tall. It was almost time to be harvest, right? They go out to harvest the corn, and the corn all burnt up, man, right? That's gonna be brothers and sisters, man, that stay in their sins in these last days, man, like burnt up corn, man, right? Because Yahweh said what? Unless a maize or a head of corn go into the ground, there shall be no comforter, man, right? Loosely paraphrasing. Nobody else would be birthed of the Holy Spirit if Christ did not go down in the earth, man. Right? I yield.
Last precept. Let me pull it up. Right. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse number 1. Right. And it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right. So when you see these signs that are coming to pass, man, like what? The signs that have came to pass to this day: wars, rumors of war, sedition among men, you know, all of these things that are pertaining to the end times and the latter end, the signs that show you that we're living in those end days, right? When you see these signs come to pass, you got to measure the time, man, right? To calculate what's going to happen next, man. Okay, this prophecy came to pass. Okay, then I'm reading this book and it says these prophecies unfolded. So that means that we're getting ready to go into the. You got to measure the times, man, to know what time we're living in. You know, you can't be out here with your ass out with no understanding, and then you're gonna get destroyed, man. Right? So you got to measure these times that we're living in, and the times we're living in today is what? The dollar about to collapse, right? World War III is about to come to pass and be at a super all-time high. You know, looting. The grid falling down. We all seen it. The wireless systems went down. AT&T, Verizon, you name it. Then next thing you know, Facebook and Instagram get shut down. You know, all these rumors of cyber attacks is about to happen, and it's gonna collapse this place, man.
Man,
right? Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and the uproars we see now, what, man? Protests of Palestine, man. Protests of Israel. All of these things are minor uproars, man. And it's gonna increase and travail in birth pains as we head to the end times, man. The ultimate end, you know. Right. One more, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Right.
man.
So everything in this world has a beginning, it has a birth, it has a starting point. But guess what, man? It has a beginning, a climax, and an end, man. We after the climax. We almost at the end of this movie, man. Right? Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works. Right? So at the beginning, man, we seen the magnitude of these signs. You know, the Red Sea being parted, fire coming down on Sodom and Gomorrah, the flood being destroying the earth, man. You know, going to battle with these Philistines. Everything had a plain beginning of wonder and powerful works, right? But in the end, it's going to be shown in what? Effects and signs. And that's what we see today, man. Effects and signs, you know? And that's it on you.
Calm, man. So with that, man, we're going to get up out of here. Giving all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, wa Malak, Yahweh Shai, man. All praises.
God, all praises. Shalom to y'all. Peace and blessings. Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.